Welcome to chapter 2 of the book of John Gray.
We interrupt this regularly scheduled service to bring you a special announcement.
I'm John Gray, and I have the privilege of preaching to thousands of people at Lakewood Church in Houston, Texas.
Make the church great again!
But I wouldn't be half the man I am without my amazing wife, Aventer.
Oh, stop it.
Daddy. That's how you got grandkids, relax.
Oh, that's right.
Not only is she the mother to our 2 beautiful children,
I have a unibrow? Amazing.
with my health issues, Aventer is my lifeline.
The diabetes, it takes its toll.
John's at a point where it's life or death.
He does not have the willpower to change.
Thank God she's fighting for me because we still have so much more to do.
It hurts my daughters that people think of me a certain way.
Timmy, people wait for you to respond to your triggers, and your triggers have created an economy. I speak to the man who wants to be the father for that little girl. None of it was your fault.
It wasn't my fault!
The outpour of love that Pastor John and Avatar has shown us literally changed my life.
We've only completed the first chapter. I've just been offered a church.
If you don't pursue this opportunity, you're going to suffer for the rest of your life.
Jesus, God has presented something to my wife and I that I wanted to talk to you about. Our story is just getting started.
Every life has chapters. Every life has pages. There is a story to be told. Don't know the ending. It's still being written. God has a plan that will unfold. This is the book of John Gray.
Welcome back to our live coverage of Hurricane Harvey. The monster storm made landfall on the Texas coast overnight, and more than 250,000 people are now without power.
When Hurricane Harvey hit, my wife and I were in Atlanta for a ministry event with Paola and Oz, who are a critical part of our team. We were stuck.
Supposed to be an overnight trip turned into a full week away because the airports were closed. I thank God we had the kids with us.
We were seeing the devastation on TV and looking at streets that we used to drive that had turned into rivers. And you can't really put your mind around that. On top of all this, there was some backlash against Lakewood.
You may have heard about the controversy over Joel Osteen's Lakewood megachurch in downtown Houston. It can seat 16,000 people, and some were wondering why it hadn't opened its doors to evacuees during the hurricane.
A lot of people were offended and angry because it was reported that Lakewood was closed. The truth is, it's a big building, but the building doesn't function without people. When there were only 4 or 5 security guards there during the storm at the beginning, and if there was anybody who was outside, nobody looked at somebody standing outside and said they can't come in. If we genuinely thought that a church that we were working for would keep its doors closed when people were outside drowning, we would have left, period. But the point is this, no matter what you do, there are some people who are just not gonna like you.
Mega churches are an easy target for a lot of people in the media. I think the media loves to see when these guys may be acting hypocritically.
There's something in us that needs to be birthed out of this moment.
Right.
I'm a fire starter, and wherever I go, I take hope with me. And I believe that people need right now a spark. They need something that just says it's not over. And I think we need to move on it, and there's no time like the present.
I was like, can I get a plane, airport to open so I can get home?
Me and the family are finally back in Houston, thank God. The doors of Lakewood are open. And this sermon tonight is very significant. This is really our first service since the entire Hurricane Harvey situation. And there are people coming in who have lost everything. There are people who have questions. Who is it? Hey! What's up? Look at my brother.
He definitely don't look like what he
been through. What's up, boy?
Love you.
I love you too. I'm glad to see you, man.
Oh, man.
Good.
Clearly you have on your flood pants.
I do, just in case. Just in case Harvey comes again.
Trevor is the youth pastor at Lakewood Church, and he and his family lost everything to Harvey. And wonderful people, salt of the earth. Right now they're living in temporary housing with their 2 young sons. So what happened, bro?
It was Sunday morning, like 4:30. I didn't sleep the whole night. And then at 5 in the morning, it just started coming in. And what's funny is, I mean, I've never been through a flood, so you look at the doors, you think it's gonna only come through doors. It literally comes through anywhere it finds a way in. So it's coming through the floor, it's coming through the cracks, it's coming through the walls, it's coming literally everywhere. And I think that's where it just, I don't even know what it was, man. These emotions of like, I have 2 kids, I have a 4-year-old, a 1-year-old, they're sleeping right now. And how long is this gonna last? Is it gonna get higher? Are we gonna have to evacuate on our roof?
That was probably too real. It's one thing to see it on TV. It's another one somebody that you love is going through it.
What made it so real was I literally we had these 3 long pieces of paper, found a Sharpie, and I write, please help. And I put them in the windows, the 3 windows that are in front of our house. It was like, gee, I really hope someone's out at 7, 8 in the morning with a boat in this river in my front yard. This is the desperation. I'm trying to like keep everything sane. So God, you really do need to show up somehow. And then right there, like 9:30, 9:45 in the morning, I'm standing in the living room in the water, and these 2 guys on kayaks come to our front door.
Jesus.
And once those 2 guys started coming, I saw them through the window, oh man. I didn't know where we were going, and we got in.
Unbelievable.
I honestly believe he has to smile to keep from crying. I do believe it's an element of his faith, because your faith isn't tested like this every day.
I'm just glad y'all are all right. You need anything, we're here. And I know I'm like you, because I'm a man. I want to take care of my family, but that feeling of helplessness is the worst thing in the world, where you can't stop it because it's water. It's not a person. You can't fight it. You just have to trust that God's going to get you out of it. Like you said, you didn't know that you couldn't get out till you knew you couldn't get out.
I love you. Thank you so much. Appreciate you guys.
He loves you.
This sermon tonight, this is not a small thing. I'm stepping into a cauldron of emotion, spiritual questions, a lot of pain, but I don't have all the answers. Last time I checked, my last name is not Christ. Don't just come to me. Let's all look up. I want you to hug 5 people before you sit down and tell them you survived. Hug them. Somebody lost everything. Car underwater, but they survived. Don't know where they're gonna go. Still gotta worship. They still have a hallelujah. The devil is confused. How can you worship in a time like this? This is when my worship matters the most. Lakewood been here 59 years. We're gonna be here 59 more. We're not going anywhere. It took a storm to wipe away all of the surface stuff so I can see you as a child of God. I don't see black, I don't see white, I don't see Mexican, I don't see Puerto Rican. What I see is a child of God who has a need, and we gotta fight for one another. And if I got a boat and you in the water, get in the boat. Make the church great again. Make the church great again. That's what the storm was sent for. Amen. God bless you. You know, I believe that the people received the word tonight. This storm has put so much in perspective. And if we get our hands dirty and we do the hard work, we can build something bigger than what we lost. Coming up, my wife and I started a foundation to benefit the victims of Hurricane Harvey. We don't know what the needs are gonna be. We really don't know who's gonna show up. I am officially scared.
Who is that?
Stop it right now. Shut up! Yo! Michelle Williams.
The city of Houston rallied behind Destiny's Child. So now it's time to show Houston the love that they showed us.
How are you? I am so excited about catching up with my friend Tammy Roman.
So how are you feeling about the season? And
Oh, I'm dreading it.
Hi.
How are you?
Oh my goodness. How are you?
Today, I am so excited about catching up with my friend Tammy Roman. She is pretty much known for her reality TV personality, and I can't wait to see what's going on with her.
Thank you for ordering for me. I got so much going on.
I said, look like she gonna be late, child.
Listen, I'm doing my best with that.
But I know the babies probably had you going.
They did, and then the husband too. 'Cause, you know,
Really?
this hurricane has sent us in a was your home okay?
We actually had flood damage. You know, our floors were damaged, but the house, thank God, is still there. You know.
Oh no.
So we're just putting
Things
it
back together.
Yeah.
So how you feeling about the season? And
Oh, I'm dreading it.
really?
Mm-hmm.
Because you've been, I mean, obviously successful.
But I'm successful at being the bad guy. I do a show with a lot of women who aren't as necessarily supportive and empowering as I would like them to be. When people come into my space challenging me, it really works me. It really sends me to the moon, and sometimes I just don't come back from it. And it's wearing down on me emotionally. I'm not gonna act like I'm the only person that has to go through this, you know, because there are thousands of people who work with people they don't particularly like. But how do you balance, okay, I need this right now to pay for my kids' school and live my life, but a lot of people have that warped sense of perception about me based on what they see.
Right.
Yes, I have an argument or two. Yes, I have thrown a chair. However, people see me on reality TV, and the one side that they see is me arguing. It's limiting me. You know, part of the reason why I wanted to sit down with you is because I don't really know how to shift, because I do have triggers. So that is a part of my personality.
I look at you and I just see so much light and so much beauty. You have these two sides, but whichever one you feed the most is gonna be the one that you're known for.
In my encounters with Tammy, I've always witnessed this loving, calm person, but in her job, it would seem as though she triggers easily. I feel like John is gonna be able to help her to shapeshift into the Tammy that she wants the world to experience versus the one that makes her unhappy.
There are places in this life where you have to ask God to shapeshift you into making the actual you and the you want to be the same person. John can help you, honey. So definitely want you to meet with my husband, if you don't mind.
I am 100,000% ready to shapeshift, but I don't know if I'm ready to meet John one-on-one. I am nervous sharing my innermost thoughts and feelings, and I don't know how he's gonna take them.
Look at it.
I'm afraid, what if I curse?
That's fine, be you. Did you say yes, or you still trying to think
I said yes.
So we gotta get the word out. We have to utilize social media.
I'm sorry, I'm just walking in. Talk to me. What's going on?
People need help.
The idea of Become the Bridge was brought to full fruition while watching the news in Atlanta, realizing that we had to do something. Become the Bridge also is set up to really be the hands and feet of Jesus for those who are the most vulnerable. If you're human and you have need, we're gonna help. God doesn't discriminate, neither do we.
Amen. In Atlanta, we put out a call for people to give. So some of this stuff is en route to us right now. Cool. Is it true, Oz, that when we got back, your car was gone?
It was. Got back to the airport and the car was completely flooded, you know.
It was covered in mold.
It was. It stunk really, really
bottom
bad.
to the top.
We couldn't get back?
We couldn't get back, so we were stuck.
Being away and then coming back to actually see what has happened, it lets me know that the work that me and Paola did while we were displaced in Atlanta was worth it. And it's a beautiful thing, but there are logistics. Right. The logistics have to be in order. The hurricane relief efforts are endless right now, but we have secured a warehouse. We have an amazing space to house the donations we're looking to acquire from different people and organizations.
Not to mention the proximity to the highways, especially for people who were affected on that side of town.
Absolutely. We are recruiting volunteers, but we have a lot to do.
I want to tell you thank you, because every time I've said something that was from my heart, instead of laughing at it and tearing it down, you grabbed it and took off running with it. But I'm gonna just let y'all know that I am officially scared.
Yeah.
Because we don't know what the needs are gonna be.
Yeah.
We really don't know who's gonna show up.
Right.
But we believe that all human beings were created by a loving God, and from that, they deserve the very best that we can give.
That's a bridge.
That's the bridge.
Amen.
Coming up, you don't have to smack them to hurt them, because
No,
you
I
can
can
put some
come with my
words.
tongue too. I'm good at what I do now.
Fred, what about you, bro? And you gotta keep it together for them, but who's keeping it together for you? The mission of BTB is to become the hands and feet of Jesus to those that need it the most, the disenfranchised, the underserved, the forgotten. And this is Donation Day. Check this out. Truck is on the way.
Truck is backing in.
Truck is backing in. We're gonna have to unwrap it and take it down. We're gonna start a human chain. All right, let's pass them down, pass them around. Look at this, look at that. Infamil, you know how many babies out here don't have nothing to drink, nothing to eat? Now, are we allowed to take the Chef Boyardee to the house? Premium ravioli, people. Don't lust. Teamwork, make the dream work. First one down, next one up. BTB, BTB.
Who is that?
Stop it right now. Yo! Michelle Williams shows up. Girl, what is you doing, girl? What is
sorry,
you
y'all. I
doing?
get excited, my people.
Talking loud.
Right.
I'm here, y'all. What do I need to do?
That is why I love her.
I have an amazing connection to Houston. Back in the year 2000, I moved down here when I joined Destiny's Child. And I recall how the city of Houston rallied behind Destiny's Child. So now it's time for us to get behind and show Houston the love that they showed us. I had to be here today.
Catch him, catch him. I want to thank Emilio. He directed these resources to us. Can you make some noise for Emilio? I appreciate you. How did you get in touch with these people and all of that?
Basically, our church, it's called The Church, we've been organizing or mobilizing a 20,000 square foot warehouse. So 18-wheelers are dropping off stuff to us. We're connecting with people out there that are needing it, that are doing something for the community, and so we're just bringing out truckloads to them so they could bless other people with it.
That's it. There's people in the community that feel like they can't reach out for help because they think they're gonna get deported. That's not God. That's not Christ. We go and we help whoever.
Give me the men's. Where the men, folks? We need some men's over here.
It means the world that BTB has resonated with people from all over the country.
Yes.
This all I need to work out with. And it means the world that people would lay down their time and their effort and their resources to meet the needs of other people. The truth is, that's kind of how I want to live. I just want to help people and die right. And I think BTB will be that vehicle.
I was 2 seconds off another ring.
Hey, sweet girl, how are you?
I'm good.
Welcome to our home.
Yes.
So today I'm meeting with reality TV star Tammy Roman, who is a friend of my wife's.
Where's the missus?
She is running around. It's just me and you. Come on in here.
Okay.
The Avatar asked me to talk with her because Tammy is concerned about her image, the way people perceive her. And it's funny because I had that initial reaction because I want to help, but I don't want to get cussed out while I'm trying to help. Praise Jesus. I don't normally watch a lot of reality TV, but I watch you. How many nails have you broken smacking people?
Not a one.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, go ahead.
I'm good at what I do now. But
smacking people's not good. And here's the thing about you too. You don't have to smack them to hurt them, because you can put some words.
My tongue too. But I'm unhappy because people just see me one way. And that's not to say that that's not who I am, but it's not only me.
Okay, so it's not the sum total of you.
Right. I have been battling with what's making my lifestyle comfortable, but that hasn't actually been making me as a person on the inside comfortable.
But Tammy, if this is not how you want to be portrayed, then why keep doing the show?
I don't want to not be able to provide for my children. But now when I try to go out and have other opportunities and other revenue streams, people don't want that girl associated with their projects. You know, and then it hurts my daughters that people think of me a certain way. You know what I mean? And so my daughter Jazz does music. It's like, it took us forever to get her signed because she's my kid. You know what I mean? And so it's just like always a challenge, but I don't know how to make it better.
Yeah, but Tammy, you're a public consumable. People wait for you to respond to your triggers, and your triggers have created an economy. I've often seen that old hurts can be at the root of a person's triggers. And if we can get to the root of Tammy's pain, we'll be able to help her to control those triggers before she blows up. I think there are people who actually would rather see you not change because they like you better broken. Those days are over. Coming up, Trevor, he and his family lost everything.
I don't think I've ever felt my spirit feel this dark before.
You've been framed as combative.
When somebody does something to me, that's what they gonna get. And I'm just trying to get over stuff.
I think there are people who actually would rather see you not change because they like you better broken. Those days are over. So Tammy has said she doesn't like the way she's being perceived based on the way she reacts to her castmates. When they push a certain trigger, they get a very real response. So my goal today is to help Tammy identify some of these triggers that cause her to react the way she does. You've been framed as combative, but you said that a lot of that really is a part of you.
I've been angry for a very long time.
So then what is the root of that aggression? Tell me who hurt you first, and I will show you a pattern that has probably persisted.
I was molested.
How old were you?
11. And what I'm dealing with now, my mom's passing.
And when did she pass?
She passed in 2013. We talked on the phone. I was supposed to go see her, and the next morning I woke up, they were like, we had to put your mom on life support. So I didn't even get to talk to her. I didn't get to say anything. I didn't get to, just so much. And so when somebody does something to me, that's what they gonna get. I mean, I'm just trying to get over stuff. But it just seems like every time I go get over a hurdle, then there's a new situation that I feel like I didn't handle properly, or I was mistreated, or I was abused.
You just hit it. So many people get over, but in order to get free from it, you have to engage it. Tammy comes from the school of thought of when you are faced with something that is hurtful and painful, you get over it. I don't come from that school, because to get over it school doesn't help you to heal. I think you are at a very necessary crossroads in your life, and you're gonna have to trust God, because what you're expressing is a tension on the inside that says, God, I'm not happy in this, but I know this. If I let this go, what's on the other side? It's called the event horizon. And it's the place where you can't see beyond. But when you step over, you're going to get to a place of healing, and you will finally be able to shed tears of happiness saying, now I know why I had to go through that. And this is how the evolution of Tammy Roman will manifest. She needs to go ahead and see what's on the other side. She already knows what this side looks like. And isn't that the question for all of us? What's on the other side of not allowing an old version of ourselves to be the final version of ourselves? This conversation has given me a lot to think about. And we have a mutual friend, Jay. And, you know, I would love for all of us to get together. I'd love to go get some food. Av is not the only person in my world that knows Tammy. Our mutual friend, Jay, is one of Tammy's closest friends in Houston.
He knows the softer side of me. He's a good person to identify. This is what they're showing you, but this is who she is.
I'd like to explore that. I'm hoping Jay's additional insight can help me as we're moving Tammy into the next phase of her spiritual evolution. I'd like to give you a task, so the next time we meet, give me 5 trigger points.
Okay.
The places of pain that it looked like you were not gonna be able to recover from it. And let's see if that doesn't lead to some healing.
Okay. I was actually very happy to hear Pastor John ask me for 5 trigger points, 5 core places of pain, because I probably have a good 40. So I can do 5. It's just, now I think my biggest challenge is finding the most poignant 5 that I feel caused this path that I'm on. Thank you so much.
Hey, I love you. You're amazing.
Tell Aventer it wasn't as bad as I thought it was gonna be.
See? We've heard some noise complaints in the building. We need you to...
Can I help you, sir?
Yes,
Are you our new neighbors?
Yes, we are.
Today, we're stopping by Trevor and Amy's temporary apartment. We're gonna spend some time with them. We'll give them some things and just kind of see where their hearts are.
And I have a special gift for Trevor. I want to give him something that will commemorate what I think was a heroic moment in his life. It feels like home, bro.
Did you printed them out?
Amy did.
Yeah, my walls were bare for about a week and I couldn't take it, so. Then we printed pictures of our kids and now it feels a little bit more like home, doesn't it?
This is nice.
Even though our situation and circumstances don't feel all that good without being in our home and our own stuff, that doesn't change God. That's why we keep smiling, have joy. It's our strength.
I'm just so happy that you guys have somewhere for now. I pulled a lot of Forrest things, and we got you some new things as well.
Ooh, Parker, can you say thank you?
It's so cute.
He means.
Of course, favorite pants ever in life.
Yes.
Yep.
Parks, you see
You
any
think
pants?
those will fit me?
Pants.
Sometimes I feel like I do a good job at I smile and I just like, yeah, everything is great, you know, everything is awesome. But getting rescued out of your house because there's water everywhere isn't something that you think is probably gonna happen in your lifetime. Yeah. But it did to us. We were terrified. As a mom, as a dad, you know, as parents of these kids, you'll do anything that you can to make sure that your family gets out alive.
No church answers allowed. How are you really doing?
I've not even talked about this yet. I don't even know if he knows this.
No church answers allowed. How are you really doing?
I've not even talked about this yet. I don't even know if he knows this.
Trevor and Amy are our friends, and we love them. We love their boys. And he and his family lost everything to Harvey.
Yeah.
Now they're living in temporary housing.
I don't think I've ever felt my spirit feel this dark before. And there are days where I just feel sad. I mean, I was home alone, and I just had this moment where it all just hit me, and I was like, I am not okay. I just hit the floor, and I put my face on the ground, and I just started, like, screaming, and I felt sad and depressed and confused. I felt just all sorts of emotions.
It's all right. I'm tired of this idea that everybody has to be strong all the time. That's a misnomer. Every now and then you need to let it out. Trev, what about you, bro? And you gotta keep it together for them, but who's keeping it together for you?
When it happened and the water started coming in and I'm looking at her and I'm realizing it's going to overtake our whole house. There's no stopping this, period, other than the hand of God. And by hiding his word in my heart, I felt like that was the reason why I responded the way I did as a husband, as a dad. It was, we're gonna be a home of peace and we're gonna trust God.
I just wanted to give you a gift. This is a watch. It is set to 11:08 a.m., which is the moment you and your family were rescued. I just wanted to bless you with something that helps you to remember that moment.
Yes, thank you so much. It means a lot. We need a couple links taken out.
Well, if you don't want it, please give it back.
He's taking it in.
Okay, so he's not the effusive, emotional guy. He's more of the contemplative, internalist.
He does, and then he'll get emotional about it later.
Okay.
He
Well,
is, that's how
take
he
a
is.
video of it. I want to see it.
Okay.
It's such a sweet thing to do. The fact that he was able to set it at a time that meant something not only to him, but to us. Meant the world. Love you, buddy. Thank you so much.
Means the world.
This is a nice looking shirt here.
We've got so many partners across the city that will send things here, and we really need more help.
So today is distribution day. This is the first time that people will be able to come to the BTV warehouse and get needs for their household. We don't know if we have too much. We don't know if we have the right things. We don't know if we have too little.
Right.
Because the truth is, we don't know what we're doing.
But what we do know is that we have a heart for the people. We're assigning people to families, so you can walk with them to get the stuff and help them. And if they have a specific need, we'll take them straight there. But if they need everything, just take them like in order, and they can just pick up as they go.
Yeah, like I literally just pulled out.
Are you serious?
I'm dead serious.
Hi, sweet girl. Can I have a hug?
She's
Sweet girl. Yay! Is that your toy? Yeah!
She's excited about it.
That is beautiful.
Which one did you?
How are you? Get what you need. We love you. And don't you pick up nothing heavy. We got enough grown men, and if I have to, I'll carry it myself. We got more people coming, so make sure we are wise with our resources.
Hey, bro, did you help rescue out of the Georgia Brown
Oh,
Sanctuary?
my
God
God.
bless you.
How
Thank
are
you so
you?
much. I'm not finna start crying, but
Yes, you are.
yeah, because you rescued us.
Nah, that was all God, honey. So Gussie is a woman that I met when I was serving the people of Clayton Homes. She told me this unbelievable story. They were displaced, flood water 10 feet high. Turns out she had nowhere to go. I called my wife, and my wife secured transitional housing for Gussie and her family. And it's a blessing to see that she's doing much better now.
When he came out to serve people and help people, I stood over to the side because there was a lot of people there. And I told my kids, I said, we just gonna stand aside. We're not gonna fight for nothing. You know, I said, what God got for us, we'll get it. So he looked at me, he said, well, you in? I said, yes, sir. And I started telling him what was going on. And all I could do was cry and say, thank you, Father, you heard my cry.
Yeah, we can't do everything, but we can do something.
And he did. And
So
I
we
told
love
him
you.
what he done was more than enough.
This is what we're supposed to do, you know?
And I'm so grateful. My family is grateful. Thank you. I wanted to see you again just to tell you that.
That means the world to me.
God bless you.
Hey, how are you, my dear?
I'm good.
You all right? You holding up?
Yeah, it's my third hurricane, but
Jesus. If we can get everybody's attention for a moment, I just want to take a second to tell you thank you for your time, your talent, for volunteering. We are not done, but I just wanted to take a moment to celebrate y'all. I'm emotional about Become the Bridge because it's something with my name on it. And if I live right, it'll outlast me. It will stand for something bigger than what I came from. You got one life, do something that outlasts you. Be a part of something that matters. Coming up, she sets it off.
All the way. Everybody looks at her to be the bitch. The kids.
Everybody's good. Lyrics about ready to graduate.
You know y'all look like twins.
Everybody says that.
Y'all can't start talking before I get here.
Lord, look who is here.
Sorry, I'm late. So I'm meeting Tammy for lunch, and I told her to bring along our mutual friend, Jay. I figure if there's anybody that could give me insight into what's going on into Tammy's mind and heart, it would be Jay. Let me tell you why I'm glad you're here, Jay. I'm getting to know Tammy, but you know the real Tammy.
Yeah.
Jay is a really good friend of mine that I met when I first moved to Houston. We've known each other for about 4 years. He knows me as a mother. He knows me when I'm in church. You know, he knows all the other sides of Tammy that people don't get to see when they're watching 1 hour on TV.
What I'd love to get from you is what has been your experience with her.
There's a TV Tammy, there's a real Tammy.
So, projected image, actual, okay.
Projected image is the bitch. And a lot of people think that that's who she is. But then there's the real Tammy who has a vulnerable side. She's a wonderful mother, always ready to be there for those who need her. She is this strong woman, the person that makes everything work in the family. Everybody looks at her to be this hard girl.
Is that fair?
No, what do you think?
Sometimes unfair is necessary to help somebody else.
So it seems from what Jay is saying, it really is Tammy's MO to sacrifice her own feelings for the sake of those that she cares about. But the trade-off is in I can't sleep, I don't have peace. Those are the things that matter. Because when the cameras go off and the lights are turned, who are you? I gave Tammy a task. I wanted to know what her trigger points were, because she sets it off all the way. Right.
So I took the homework very seriously.
Good.
And although there are several triggers, I got my top 5 that I'm going to, you know. So feeling guilty about not being there for my mom during her passing. And I don't trust women. I feel like, you know, I had a friend when I was with my ex-husband and she tried to sleep with him.
Nice.
And so for that,
sips water into
yeah.
So a lack of trust.
Being molested when I was 11. Abandonment. When my mom separated from my stepdad, the person that I loved, that I felt loved me is no longer there.
Right.
Homelessness.
Homelessness? And when was that?
When I was 15. I was in high school and my mom lost her job. And so homelessness is really, for me, a part of this is why I'm doing this, because I have to maintain a home, you know.
So there's a fear that if you don't work,
fear of losing
it all.
Yeah.
It's hard to imagine how anyone could heal from any one of those, let alone all 5 of them. And so Tammy's hurts are not going to change overnight, but her response to the triggers can and must change. Because you responding to triggers means that people have strings on you. Cut those strings. Don't allow people to determine what you'll say or what you'll do or how you'll react. That is taking the power back. Now it is time, not just to turn the page, but to change the narrative, which means the narrator has to change. You determine the content based on how you respond to the pre-existing triggers.
Exactly. If I learn how to control the triggers, then I also will be able to control the presentation.
Right. You got it.
When John said that if I were able to control my triggers, then I would absolutely have the power and control over the narrative, that was key.
Y'all gonna see a difference. You say, she done managed them triggers. She done got that all the way together.
She ain't slapping a bit.
Right.
I think Tammy is a case study in walking wounded hope. And if she continues to do the work, we're going to see a different woman.
Thank you and Aventer for everything. You know, it's just humbling in how much you guys believe in me.
When Aventer suggested that I sit down with John, at first I was anxious. But after going through this experience, I have to say he brought light to a lot of things that I wasn't ready to face. And he encouraged me to shape shift and control the narrative of my life and take my power back.
Yo, we love you. And anything of value that we can bring, we will. We need to schedule some time to just hang out and laugh.
Okay.
We done been deep long enough. Let's party. Dear Dad, a hurricane named Harvey swept through the city. It washed away homes, cars, and even lives, but it could not wash away hope. Harvey has repositioned my thinking and the reality of my own mortality, as well as the type of legacy I want to leave behind. And I personally want to live without regret. I want to be present in my home, in my marriage, and be there for my kids. They deserve more. I don't want to be married to the church, but date my family. I continue to search for the elusive concept of balance. Let's call it a work in progress. Well, Dad, I gotta go. See you around the bend. Your son, John Gray. On the next episode of The Book of John Gray.
When Paulette passed away, a part of me died that day. She was everything to me.
Do you know what she died from?
We have our autopsy. I'm not ready to know what happened. I just don't want it to be something that could be my reality.
How do you heal if you don't deal? How y'all been doing? Tanya's a young woman that I met with in the past because she was having some real issues with her teenage daughter, Kaylana.
She went back to her old ways. I've done everything for this child.
You have empowered her to be disrespectful to you. Please put your hands together for the Rain Dance Company.
I'm so nervous about this dance piece tonight. God, can you help us?
Hi, YouTubers. I'm excited to give you an update about our own YouTube channel. Now you can find new videos every day. They're the kind of videos that will make you look at life differently. They may even make you laugh a little bit. Subscribe to the OWN channel today, and we'll see you on YouTube.